9. Now, this is a little different than if some of you have had this class before, because this is a week 9 of an 11-week quarter. So things have been rearranged a little bit for weeks 9, 10, and 11. So week 9, you have your lecture and assignment videos, and so we're doing the week in review now, and there'll be a video on chapters 12 and 13. So, and the second part here is student final presentation conference, Tuesday, May 30th from 6:30 to 8, meeting virtually with me. And I have sent out information on how you make an appointment to meet with me, because this is by appointments. If for some reason you work a second shift and you need to meet with me during like the daytime, if when in the afternoon, you need to talk to me, because I will do that. So that's just a reminder for that. Just click that. It says meeting virtually. You have to read this. That's why I said you must read this. All right. What I want you to be prepared when you read that is, here's the way it works. The task I'm discussing here is the final presentation. It's worth 200 points. So the timeline for the presentation is week 9, begins Monday, May 29th. You can see what your assignment is, 9.4 in the week 9 module. Look at that. Here's how to sign up for the presentation meeting. Make your appointment. Week 10, you're going to be assigned to do peer reviews. So it's going to be probably 3, maybe 4 to a group, but generally speaking 3. The draft of your paper is due Wednesday, June 7th. You post it as a discussion. There's a link, there's a place, a tab for it. Then this draft will be reviewed by each peer in your group. Their comments to you is due on Sunday, June 11th at 11:59. Then week 11, okay, so you've written it by Wednesday on June 7th. You submit it to your peers. Your peers get back to you by Sunday. Week 10, week 11, you have to make revisions. This week you're to review the comments from your group, make any rewrites to your paper that you wish to make, and then I would suggest you create a PowerPoint after you do this first step that represents your paper. The final presentation and PowerPoint is due June 18th at 11:59 p.m. This is a firm deadline, as I have to have grades in by 11 a.m. on June 20th, in other words, on Monday, okay? There's no wiggle room for me. So for week 9, proposals, business plans, informal and formal business reports. The lesson objectives is how to interpret data to arrive at conclusions, explain how to organize report data, to understand how to identify how proposals are used in the workplace, define components of typical business plans, and describe the purpose of each part included in a formal business report. Now, for those of you that's sitting there saying, I'm medical, I won't ever do a business plan, my food for thought for you is that you're training for medical, you're going to be on medical, but maybe at some point you want to work in a hospice group as a co-owner, or in other words, you don't know where your life is going. It would be a good thing to at least be familiar of what business plans look like and what you need to do, because your life may. I knew one woman one time, a student, that her major was medical. She got married to a gentleman that owned a farm and also owned a small trucking business. After a short period of time, he needed somebody to help him in the business. She wanted to help him, so she left her medical degree for a little bit to help him get his business going. And they had to do business plans and all this other kind of good stuff. So you don't know that you would never need to know this. So it's good to approach it like you might someday need to know it or help someone do it. This week, we're also talking about chapters 12 and 13. Here's 2 PowerPoints. Here's the practice questions like always. Here's your grammar. And here's the quiz study guide. Okay. Okay, so your discussion is, in preparing a report, if you were asked to study the relationship between traffic speeds and traffic accidents, what statistics might be most useful and why? Then describe how you would interpret the data to draw conclusions, and then explain how you would organize the data to represent your findings. And then, as always, respond to 2 of your classmates and suggest other ways the same data may be interpreted or presented. All right, so here's a case study you need to look at. Download the case study assignment document following the Your Task directions at the end of the case. Write a short letter, report to the City Council, outlining the problem and listing your recommendations as identified in the case study. And there's the link. All right. What this is that the setup is that you are part of an outside consulting agency down in Florida, and these people are having trouble with their boardwalk. It's not functioning. The town's boardwalk's not functioning, and the park that's set up with it for strollers, bikes, and all that kind of good thing. And they need some help to figure out what needs to be done. Your consulting firm has been brought in, and you're speaking for the consulting firm. So I think this is one of the more interesting assignments. Make sure you read the case study. Okay. Follow the directions. Constructed. I know it's a lot of words, but break it down. It tells you here's the setup, and then under your task, short letter report. Here's how to do it in your book. Outline the problem and list your recommendations. Address your letter report to the St. Petersburg City Council. Give your consulting firm a name and a Florida address, and you will be happy to discuss your findings. On the rubric, you lose points if you don't include that. All right. So you just have to kind of follow this because there's a lot of things in here that will help you. So it confirms that your beachway is dangerous. What are you going to do about it? So your associates make a number of suggestions. The council, okay, who is hiring you, is interested in lessening the threat of liability. One of your associates that you work with thinks the beachway should be at least 15 feet or more wide. Another says it should be lighted at night. So here's your suggestions. Someone thinks a new path should be built on the beach side of the existing beachway for pedestrians only. Someone should educate the users about safety rules and etiquette. One suggestion is better striping. Why not require all rental bicycles be equipped with bells, so you can jingle them so people get out of your way? One of the best recommendations involved hiring uniformed beach hosts who monitor the beachway, give advice, offer directions, generally patrol the area for safety. So it's here. You just need to look in the book for the letter report and kind of show it here. Report an amazing 65 collisions and short calls. So just look through this. There's a bunch in here, and there's a bunch in here to help you come up with suggestions. Okay. There's your quiz. You can still have 2 attempts. And here's the part 1 final presentation draft. This is what I want you to have read by the time I meet with you. All right, so for its APA format, I've been able to turn it in. And then here's what you have to do. You have to write a report and prepare a PowerPoint presentation. But first you need to do this so that your peers can give you a review on it. Here's a definition of sustainability. The communication social media strategy that Walmart is using is to spread the news about their sustainability. You are to review Walmart's sustainability strategy. I've given you one link here. There are other links if you want to do a search, but this is a neat page. See, this is preferred, just one, no, it's just one of the sites. As part of a team, you have to it's an imaginary team. It's a team of you. You're working to create a communication strategy. You should consider how Walmart can spread the news about its sustainability policies to reach the broader public and young people in particular. Okay, that's what this has to be about. How do they let the public know they have these sustainability programs in place? Write a 2 to 3 page report, not including the cover page and not including the reference page. Chapter 11 will help you with the reports. You should explain 3 things I'm going to be looking for. Pros and cons of at least 3 social media strategies. Why you selected the strategies for Walmart that you did. So if you use Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Pros and cons of those 3. And then why did you choose those 3? Submit this report in easy format, double-spaced professional appearance. and that's submission number 1. Here's what's required of your PowerPoint, and that's submission number 2. There is my reference for my quote that I did right here. Okay, so you have to quote. I will have turn it in on. I will check, and you can check it before you turn it into me to see what your score is. I would check. If you quote anything, it has to have quotes and it has to be cited appropriately. APA, this is appropriately. Okay, this is the way you do it. All right, and you can always go, I've given you some other sources for how to look up APA in the past. If you need me to do it again, I'll tell you where you can go with it. And so, all right, so that's the weekend review. If you have any questions, let me know. Give me a yell.